Hi Aries, how are you? I hope this finds you well. I am doing your reading for September 2020. We have on September 2nd a full moon in Pisces, and on September 17th the new moon in Virgo. So we're already laid out your cards to save time. The bottom of the deck, you have this victory card. And I will say, when I was shuffling, I got a very strong Leo vibe. So, a very strong fire vibe, even though we will be in the earth. The earth sign of Virgo for um, several weeks of the month. I see, yeah, a lot of, and well, it's interesting because Leo kind of got this too, so it makes sense. Maybe it's definitely a couple of fire signs getting together. This could be romantically, this could be um, on a project or whether it's at work or outside of work. Um, it could also be sort of, how do I want to say it? Sort of embracing uh, part of you that is a stereotypical fire sign trait and realizing it could actually be your superpower. I always like the story that Liz, like I know her, Elizabeth Gilbert, has in her book Eat, Pray, Love. Um, I don't remember if it's in the movie or not, but she was at this retreat and in India, I think, and she just couldn't meditate, couldn't sit still, was thinking she talks too much, kind of just spiraled down into it. So that's it. The only way to solve this for me to stop talking and to really settle down and meditate is to take a vow of silence. So she just decided that's the only way she can get herself to shut up and do what she's supposed to be doing. And that very soon after, like I think literally that day, some of the people at the retreat came to her and said, "We would really like for you to be the person that greets new people and gets them oriented to how things work around here." So what she was frustrated about and beating herself up about was actually what people recognize as um, a strong suit of theirs. That was her superpower, being able to relate to people and make them feel comfortable. Oops, I don't know if you can see this, but a big thing just popped up on my screen and I would like to remove it. There we go. So, another thing about the Six of Wands, I should hold it up so you can see it, is counting wins that only you realize are wins. Sure, everyone can see if you get a promotion or your name's in the paper or the company newsletter or you have a good review. Well, because you tell people. But there are tons of wins that we have inside every day. Maybe you're trying to lose weight and food's a struggle for you. I was going to go and just mindlessly grab something to eat and I stopped myself. I um, I didn't let that person trigger me. I noticed I was going into a negative spiral with my thoughts, and I stopped it. Whatever your thing is, you'll know. Hey, I did a better job with that, even if it's not perfect. Count them all. So I just laid out sort of some matching cards here. I don't really have a plan, but let's a little bit different spread than recently the world. And let's see what's next to the world. And the star, wow, okay. So two major, we have the victory card, the star card, and the world. I mean, someone watching, I don't know if people watch me that are um, movie stars or something like that, or YouTube stars, or wanting, I mean, this is having your dreams, being known worldwide, being a star. You can see this on the world card, or that's called the universe in this deck. This person's dancing. This looks like the movie. It's like a scene out of Game of Thrones almost. I don't know, with the comet. I mean, and the stars and the people out on horseback outside. It just seems very. Maybe I'll go to Iceland. I don't even know if they're letting people in Iceland. Probably not. But this is healing, dreaming again. For example, if you had a bad breakup and you were just done, like you just were not even interested in thinking about dating again, this may be having enough time that's gone by that you're ready to move forward. It could be the world. I sure hope so. I don't foresee that happening right away, but there's this cool, I should try to find it and link it below, but psychic teachers did a show on it, but I had heard about one of them already. So if you don't listen to psychic teachers, it's a great show, and they had one about authors predicting the future. But my brother had sent me, I think it was a Ken Follett, maybe it was Ken Follett. Oh shoot. Anyway, he predicted what was happening right now, that a virus, like a respiratory virus coming out of Wuhan province, China, would spread across the globe. I can't remember the exact. Did it say 2020? But that may have been Sylvia Brown who predicted it. But there are a bunch of like the Titanic was predicted in a book before the Titanic happened. Several other things. It's so interesting. That was a total tangent, but you might find that interesting. Because sometimes when I get the world, it can lead to world events that are felt all around the world. Or maybe there'll be some amazing astronomical finding, or UFO or something crazy like that. Before 9/11, and I'm not saying I predicted 9/11 because I did not even begin to put it together until after the fact, but I kept getting the world and the tower, the world and the tower. And if you know the tower card in the tarot, it shows a tower with lightning striking it, usually on fire, with people falling out of the top of the tower. I mean, and just think tower, World Trades, I don't know. And I mean, I just kept getting them over and over. And this was obviously a long time ago. And I'm like, I just don't know what this means. I just don't know what this means. And then after the fact, I was like, holy shit. But I think it's fun to use tarot cards for predictive means, but I really use them. I discovered after getting into them, I was drawn to them anyway, just on some energetic level, but using them for predictive means because it's fun, right? I've realized they're really an invaluable tool for me for self-reflection, self-discovery, and self-improvement. So this next one after that large tangent is the Seven of Swords. Who is this? Because the Sword and the Stone. Some things just aren't right for us, no matter how much we want them. Now, it doesn't mean to let go of your dreams with that star card, but it does mean that we need to keep moving forward and to let some things go. Okay, you know what? That didn't work. That's the universe. Here we have the universe showing me the way, and the way is not this way. We have to find a different way. We have to find a different path. So this Seven of Swords can be seen and often is read mostly as a sneaky card, as someone doing sneaky things, talking about you behind your back, lying to you. But it's also a card about, instead of, walking up and and bursting through the front door and demanding something, you may have to find a different way around. You may have to, so it can be seen as manipulative, but it's also what people call networking. It's also just being in the right place at the right time, but also recognizing when something isn't working, and let's keep moving forward then. Instead of not being able to let it go and no, I have to do it this exact way. Victory is going to come from being able to be flexible. Wow, Ace of Cups. Definitely a new beginning. You're healing. Your heart is healing. Um, some some cycle has wrapped up. So the universe card, the world card, is it marks the end of a cycle. So it's neither good nor bad. You graduate from high school, you graduate from college, you end one job and start another. It's just some ways just a normal process, but it generally, excuse me, is very positive. Even you think about it, even if a relationship ends, lots of times people stay in a relationship and that ending part for a really long time, and they're in a toxic, negative energy and they drag it. I know people have dragged it out for literally decades. Just like finally, it's like, I can't hear about this. You're miserable. Why are you still there? Or you need to listen to the narrative you're putting out because it's very, very negative. But it's a good thing when you do end a toxic relationship, right? Because now you're healing. The waters are calming. But I think sometimes, we get used to things. But this is a fresh new beginning where your heart is happy and excited. You're opening up. I mean, look at his posture, opening up to new beginnings. Wow, this is a long reading so far, probably because of my long tangent. The sun, here's that Leo energy. You guys may be meeting a Leo during Virgo time. And it is hot. You could, for small number of you, be needing to get out of a toxic relationship and you just couldn't find it in you to leave. But this sun card, this person coming in, tips you over the edge because you're like, if I can feel that way about someone, I'm not saying you cheat, but you meet someone, you're like, wow, that type of person is out there. That's what I'm looking for. Even if you don't go with this person. Yeah, this is, I only read this card this way in this deck, but this is a heart to heart, a meeting of the minds. They're meeting on common ground and you have to have that talk with someone. Now it doesn't have to be ending something. It could be, hey, we need to get on the same page. It's kind of that conversation that needs to take place to clear the air, or ask some tough questions. Not necessarily, again, mean, but sometimes people in relationships don't want to have the conversation. Do you want to have kids? What are your views on this? What are your views on that? Because if you hear a deal breaker, then you have to act on it. Yet then we get married and we haven't had these conversations, and we're, shocked as hell to find out the person we just married, isn't supportive of something that's very important to you. So we put off those types of conversations because you almost have to have the conversation that may ruin the relationship for the relationship to last. Otherwise, a tower card will come in and say, see, this isn't sustainable, and it will shake the foundation, and relationships that are not solid won't last. Wow, so you have some really, really beautiful cards. We have the victory card. the World card, the Star card, the Sun card, the Ace of Cups. Wow. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be passionate. You may be in the honeymoon period with someone where you just can't keep your hands off each other, feeling like, oh my God, I didn't know I could feel that feeling of falling in love. But it's going to be balanced though. You won't make the same mistakes. You'll have those tough questions. You'll make sure you guys connect on a value level. It's not just superficial first and then, oh, what are all the things I have to compromise to convince myself in my head that this is right. Maybe I'm the only one that did that. But do we connect? Do we have the same core view and outlook on life? Do they deal well in difficult situations? I don't know. Just it's going to be so much deeper this time. All right, Aries. Sorry, I thought this was going to be shorter because I didn't shuffle and it ended up being really long. So take care. Bye.